Hello everyone, we are back with another session. The financial industry is the main target for hackers to steal data. So it's important to know what kind of frauds are trending now in the world. That's where ClipCon bringing you our next speaker. Our next speaker embodies the spirit of this conference, a relentless pursuit of cybersecurity excellence. Meet our speaker, Kuljit Kaur Soni, who is certified international investigator, committee member of PhD Chamber of Commerce, advisor MSME India Forum, member of Center of Audit Quality ICAI, and authorized faculty GCI cyber investigator and trainer. She is also the founder and director of Cap Edge Solutions Private Limited. Her talk, Emerging Trends of Cyber Fraud in Financial Industry, promises to offer valuable insights into how we can address these common challenges and adopt our strategy for a safer digital landscape. We are happy to have you. You can start your session.
Thank you, Pooja. Thank you, Clapton, for having me here. It's a pleasure to get connected today with all of you and just share some insight on emerging trends of fraud. Me being a fraud investigator, a topic close to my heart. Unfortunate, but reality is that only thing which is going up these days and during recession, during pandemic was fraud, and is fraud, is going to be fraud. It's important for us to understand how we are moving towards uh, getting into an era where technology is being misused to commit more and more financial fraud. All of us are, uh, having our accounts in online form today. We all of us use UPI, all of us are using net banking, and that is where we see more and more exposure to frauds. And that's the idea to have a session today to give you an insight as to what kind of cyber frauds we see today in financial world and what is emerging trend we see few years down the line. So that's about me as to who am I. By profession, I'm a financial fraud investigator, cybersecurity specialist, been into this industry for close to 2 decades now. With my experience in this field, all I can say is that technology is very instrumental. When it comes to work, technology has helped us a lot. But at the same time, hackers, fraudsters are also using the technology, or I would say misusing the technology to commit a lot of fraud. One of the fraud which we see quite a lot in India today, which was not that prominent, at least for Indian market, few years back, and that is called identity theft. Identity theft is something which is one of the very, very big challenge we see today. What is identity theft? So let me put it in a very simpler word. What is identity theft? When I'm trying to say that I am you, it's as simple as identity theft. In other word, we call it account takeover. So for example, I am using Mr. A's customer ID and password and using net banking, and bank will believe that Mr. A has logged in, Mr. A is doing this transaction. It's nothing but identity theft. Each time we get a call on some pretext, pretext could be anything. Pretext could be somebody is giving you a free lifetime card, or it could be giving you some holidays, or it could be anything. But the purpose of taking your KYC document is simply to steal your identity. So identity theft is one of the very, very big challenge we see today. And if the trend are right, if the statistics are right, we will be seeing these kind of frauds much more in future, especially in the market like India. Earlier these kind of frauds were very common for Western market, but that's what has come to us in India now. A variant of identity theft is also called synthetic identity theft. In synthetic identity theft, Mr. A is not is Mr. A's identity has not been stolen entirely. So someone will club two identities together. picture of someone else and details of Mr. A, or any combination of it. We call it synthetic identity theft. The synthetic identity theft is even more risky because you do not have any credit history available. You do not have any background to check. It's entirely a new identity. Mostly terrorists, criminal use these kind of identity theft methods a lot. Now, how does it impact us, especially when we talk about financial frauds? You talk about banking fraud, whether you talk about taking a loan in somebody else's name or taking a credit card in somebody else's name, identity theft always tops the chart. Unfortunate, but a fact. The second type of frauds we see quite a lot in financial world is social engineering. What is social engineering? All of us are connected with each other on social platform: Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. People who are bachelor are looking for soulmate, so people would be there on matrimony site, dating sites. But unfortunately, the fraudsters have not left anything where they are not targeting people. So when we say social engineering is one of the most frequently used technique for cyber attacks and cyber frauds. Target could be anyone. Target could be a person like you and me. A target could be a corporate. Target could be a government. Target could be a political party. Anyone and everyone are being attacked in social engineering. So if I put it, what is social engineering in very, very simpler term? Social engineering attack is an attack which hits the vulnerability of human nature. We as a human have tendency to trust. We like to trust each other. We are social animal. We like to talk to people. This is first point which is being hit in social engineering. The second, the greed. Each time we see a message or a link saying free gift, free holiday, free dinner, trust me, all of us get lured by it. Most of them could be nothing but a social engineering attack. And the third thing which is being hit in social engineering is fear. Hey, come on, there is a virus in your system. Let me help you out. Could you please just share your screen? Let me see what all places in your system are affected. Fear. If you will not share this link, something bad will happen to you. Hey, I'm an income tax officer. If you will not click on this link and make a payment right now, we will seize your assets. Fear. So these are three things which social engineering attacks plays on: your tendency to trust, your fear, and greed. Eh, Then social engineering can happen at any place. It's not necessarily that it has to be happening in virtual world. It can happen in your metro, in a public transport, it could be anywhere. So in social engineering, the fraudster first like to go to victim, make a friend. Now how they will become friend entirely depends on the homework the fraudsters may have done it. So social engineering attacks are those attacks where fraudsters are very, very patient. They do a lot of homework on their subject. They want to know as much detail as they can about the subject. Once they understand them, then they attack them. Everybody has a weakness, everybody has a specific hobbies and interest. In these attack, first the fraudster try to understand that. Once they understand that, then again they will be doing it with lot of patience. First they will give lot of opportunity to the subject to test them, because we do not trust each other very easily, especially in today's scenario. Each time you gonna test the fraudster will pass the test. All your trust test will be passed. A day will come, then you'll start believing the fraudster. And that's the day then social engineering attack will happen. So this is one of the very, very frequently used technique, not just in India, but across the world. What makes it even riskier that it doesn't follow any specific hardware or software or a tool. It simply plays on your emotions. And we being a human, we cannot be, removed, or we cannot keep our emotions aside. We ultimately are a human being. Social engineering attacks have a lot of variants. For example, phishing attack, where you receive a mail. It could be a lottery, it could be a notice by income tax or any tax authorities, or any variant of it. Phishing attack. The phishing attack could also be targeted towards an entity, a corporate, and that's called spear phishing. So, spear phishing attacks are those attacks where a specific entity is targeted. Employee believes that they have received a mail from somebody senior in the organization, let's say a CFO, a CEO, or somebody really senior, such as payroll head, HR head, and so on. Ultimately, these mails were sent by hackers to steal the information from employee. And since employee received the mail from their own email IDs, the corporate's email ID, they tend to trust them a lot. This is called spear phishing, a very targeted phishing attack. Apart from that, there are many other social engineering attack. For example, farming. A genuine looking website can be recreated. You think that you're logging on to XYZ Bank's website. You go there, put your customer ID, password, that's it. Data is stolen. The look and feel of the website is gonna be absolutely same as your banking website. And it is not necessary that farming can only be done for a banking website. It could be a government website, it could be an immigration website, you name it, and people are targeting it. So, this is another attack which is very, very common, called farming attack. Once we have understood, what is identity theft and farming and phishing and social engineering, let's move a bit ahead and see what future looks like. These days, one word which is very, very common and we all are listening is called artificial intelligence, AI. Some of you would already be knowing a lot about AI, some of you would not be knowing so much about it. AI is all around us. Let's take a simple example of Google. All of us are using Google day in, day out, isn't it? Google use artificial intelligence. It's everywhere. You use your smartphones, smart devices, everything is governed by AI today. Now, AI is not a new concept. It's not something which was never there before. It's just that the use of AI is more today. And why AI is being used more today is because we have a lot of data available. In order to have a successful implementation of artificial intelligence, you have to have a lot of data. That data is available today, and with that the use of AI is much, much more prominent and more frequent than it was before. That's a very good thing for us, that we are moving ahead in technology. AI has been really, really supportive. You talk about healthcare, you talk about banking, you name the industry, and AI is helping them. And of course we're going to be seeing much different trends in future. And then another word some of you would have heard about is chat gpt. Not sure if you really understand what chat gpt is. So it's one of the tool, thanks to AI, a lot of our work is being taken away by someone called chat gpt. It's a helping hand, of course, but again, it's up to us whether we know how to use technology or we do not know how to use technology. With chat GPT comes lot of risk, and that risk is the misuse of chat GPT. Think about a technology which does almost everything for you. For example, write a code for me, write an article for me, so and so forth. That's the, majorly how people perceive as what ChatGPT is. But you'll be amazed that fraudsters are also using ChatGPT to commit crime these days. Earlier, when we used to get a mail in phishing attack, the language used to be very basic. And most of us who are educated, professional, would read that mail and would understand that this does not look genuine. But with refinement in AI, the AI, the chat GPT, or similar tools, write such a sophisticated mail that it is very, very difficult to know whether it is genuine or it is sent by a fraudster. Now, that's a potential misuse. There's something called deepfake. A celebrity or a politician is talking about something very sensitive. The fact is, they never have talked about it. It was just a technology which replicated them, their face, their expressions, their body language. It has happened quite a lot in political area, and of course in celebrities as well. That's another threat we see. Now, I know a couple of cases where people have received calls from their own family member in exact same tone, same voice, and that phone call was never done by the family member. It was done through technology. So that's called potential misuse. The technology is there for us so that we can use it for our betterment. But fraudsters are misusing this technology so much that they are trying to recreate a lot of stuff which is not there. So with artificial intelligence, with ChatGPT, fraudsters are doing cyber attack in much more professional and sophisticated form, and it is becoming more and more difficult to identify whether it was a genuine thing or it was a cyber fraud or cyber attack. So that is the misuse of technology. Apart from that, the fraud could also include where people say we are giving you a link of chat gpt premium feature free of cost. You click on that premium link, it will ask for some small subscription, and I'm sure you wouldn't mind paying that small amount, let's say 100 rupees per month or whatever xyz amount. The moment you put their detail there, your card detail or banking detail, that's it. We are done. One more frauds which we are seeing today as well, and we may see more in future, is called swim swap. No matter how much we believe that one SIM only works in one phone, but there are thousands of instances happening around us almost every day where one SIM is working on more than one phone at same time. A classic sign of it, suddenly your phone goes out of network, even in that area where there is absolute no problem of network. We get panicked, but we get panicked because our phone is not working. Ideally we should get panic about our bank detail. There are there are very recent cases in my closed circle where I come across similar fraud. So let's say Mr. A's phone was working properly, suddenly went out of network. He panicked. It was late evening. Rather than thinking about his financial, because he was not aware, he called up the SIM provider. They said probably there would be some problem with your SIM. Tomorrow morning you go to the closer branch, get a new SIM. He said okay, fine. Next morning he went to that store, got a new SIM, happy. For some work, he opened his net banking. And when he opened his net banking, he realized it's too late. So this swim swap happens where for some time both phones work. Suddenly you receive a link, a message, or could be any form, because these days fraudsters are using various methods to do that. And then suddenly your phone goes out of network. It could be for a couple of minutes, couple of hours. If it is late night, probably will go for another day. This time is well sufficient time for a fraudster to commit a fraud. Why they do it? Because each time they log into the net banking, there would be an OTP, and that OTP, if I will receive that OTP, I'll get to know. If my phone is out of network, my fraudster is getting OTP on his phone because he's using my SIM. That is SwimSwap. This is another trend which is very risky when it comes to financial frauds. Financial frauds are becoming riskier and riskier day in, day out. The more we are getting into technology, the cyber attacks are going up and up. If I talk about current trends of financial frauds, and if you look at any statistic in any country today, most of the banking frauds are supported by technology, and cyber frauds always tops the chart, whether it is misuse of credit card, taking your net banking details, and so on and so forth. Technology is really helping the fraudsters a lot. Gone are the days when people used to copy the signature manually. Gone are the days when people used to really uh, do things on paper. Today everything is electronic. Whether somebody has to copy your signature, whether somebody has to you do any kind of fraud, they use technology in their favor. And as I just mentioned a couple of minutes back, artificial intelligence is making these games even more risky. There are already a lot of fear when it comes to AI. Some people believe their jobs will be cut. Some people will believe, AI will replace humans absolutely. So will nobody really knows what future holds. But what is becoming riskier today is that technology sometime would not know what is right, what is wrong. Ultimately, it's a technology. And if we go by definition of AI, artificial intelligence, a technology which mimics human. However, technology still lacks that maybe intelligence to know that should be done, this should not be done. So that is where fraudsters are using this technology in their favor more and more. And that is what the game becomes riskier and riskier. So with this platform, my endeavor is to educate people and tell that I cannot say that stop using technology, or well, you stop using phones. It's not going to happen. But the dependability on technology should be in a limited form. Fraud detection is a difficult task. Ask me as an investigator. But I would always say to everyone who I meet is prevention is best. Think about fraud prevention. Ideally, fraud detection should not even come into picture. Once your account is misused, getting that money back is absolutely going to be very tough task. There is a procedure, there are chances that you may get it, but it's a hassle. It's not just a financial suffering, it's a mental suffering as well. So rather than getting into that mode, why not to get into preventive mode? Please do not trust every single mail you get, every single call you receive. Remember, there are no free lunches in this world. Anybody who is giving you free movie, free song, free that, free game has something to take it from you. And that something could be really crucial. Another small suggestion I would like to give to all my audience is be very mindful about what you post. Sometimes, especially, we see that in younger crowd, the kind of pictures you post, the kind of conversation you do, that can put you in a lot of trouble. Some time back, I was talking about social engineering, and I said that fraudster do lot of homework on you. Have you ever thought how they're gonna do homework? They will do homework with the data which you're putting on internet. And remember, once you have put in anything online, the data doesn't go anywhere. It can only be archived. It cannot be fully deleted. Once you have made it live, gone. So what you post, what you write, what kind of pictures you share, please be mindful. Stop posting picture of small kids. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's a very big risk for the kid. It is risk for the family. So so ultimately, as I said, prevention is much better than detection. Cyber frauds unfortunately doesn't seem to be going anytime soon, but we have to protect ourselves as far as possible. Try to use banking in a bit of traditional manner. Do not use any kind of shared laptops, shared system when you use your net banking. If you are using it via phone, do not forget to log out and be mindful about the apps you install on your phone. There could be some apps installed on your system which are spying on you. They can see the data real time. So be careful, be mindful about what you do. That is what is the only key to protect ourselves from these growing cyber fraud. So with this small, video of mine, the only idea was to give you a flair and tell you what is happening in the global market today. Not something which is a very happy thing for us to know, but important thing for us to know so that we can protect ourselves. So with this, I'm open to questions. Any questions, I'm absolutely open to take.
Thank you, Kavaljit. It was a great session. Actually, it's a very informative session. There are a few topics which you explained. It was also one of my favorite topics. Like I also talk more about the awareness when I go to colleges and universities. Like we also explain about how social engineering attack happens and all. So we have few questions here from the audience. The first one is how to identify a phishing mail.
So there are a couple of things, though it entirely depends on how smart the fraudster is. For example, each time it is asking you to click on certain link, let's say it seems like a genuine banking mail, please look at the domain very carefully. For example, couple of days back, I got a mail from ICICI Bank, and trust me, it was so genuine looking in terms of language, logo, color scheme. The only thing which was alarming that I don't have banking in ICICI. So I was like curious to know. So as a fraud investigator, I spent a lot of time to read such mail to understand the trend. And when I very closely looked at that mail, it was LCLCL, not ICICI. But trust me, it is very difficult thing to look at. So first look at the domain. Secondly, look at the mail if it is written with lot of spelling mistakes or you see logo going here and there, a bit of color scheme which is very different than your banking, be alert. Each time you get a call from a bank about anything, for example, you get your card upgraded and all that, my traditional advice is you hang up that call and you make a call to bank. So that is far secure than this one, because you are not sure who has called you. You, if you have to genuinely upgrade your card, you gave a call to the call center. Make sure the call center number has been taken from banking website and not from first search on Google. Remember guys, first few searches on Google are sponsored ads. It may not be genuine. So just because you have put in, say, SBI's customer care number, the first result may not always be the right number. So you go to SBI website, click there, get that number and call. It might take few minutes, but it's fine. You can do that.
Okay, the next question is, now with AI, hackers can make malware on one click. How to safeguard organization in this scenario?
A tricky question, because AI is becoming smarter and smarter again. So we should always see some catches. For example, suddenly, let's say if I'm working in a company and my payroll head sends a mail stating that this is the link, update your bank account number again. I should be feeling a bit suspicious about it. Why these kind of mails? What has happened that the payroll head wants everybody to update the bank account number once again? So be careful. But as I said, AI is kind of overpowering us. So let's see how complicated the situation would be. As of now, it is difficult to answer.
Okay, so this is actually my question. What are the security measures the financial industry should follow?
Security measures, for example, one that working from home has given us a lot of comfort, but at the same time, a lot of risk. So companies who are allowing their employee to work from home, be very very careful about what kind of network they get connected to. Secondly, one employee should not be given end to end information, because when we talk about social engineering attack, these days target could be employees, and employees personal details are not being sought after. The company's details are more important. So employees should be time to time very well trained. Training is one of the best mechanism to beat the crime. The company should inform them what to talk, what not to talk, what kind of things they should never discuss with anyone, not even with family members. So those kind of education and training should be more frequent for this. Apart from that, of course, updation of softwares, not to click on any kind of links. There should be strong firewalls. These are goes without saying with cybersecurity.
Okay, and the last question is, what compliance standard is most important for banking industry?
So, so banking is anyways a very regulated industry when it comes to, let's say in India, not just the central bank RBI which governs it. Apart from that, we have other acts for PMLA, for anti-money laundering, and so on. But at the moment, since India doesn't have its own cyber law per se, we are covered under Information Technology Act. So it's important for banks to follow those IT acts very carefully. And of course, looking at the trend, we might have our own set of cyber laws soon. So banks should be gearing up for it.
Okay, I think we are done with the questions. So thank you so much once again. The session was really, I was continuously watching your session. It
Thank you
was
so
really, we are happy to have you with us. So
much.
we hope see you next year as well on the ClipCon conference. Thank you once again.
My best wishes to you guys, and thank you so very much for having me. Thank you. Take care.
Thanks so much. Yeah.